Okay, so if you're anything like me, you know that feeling, right? All right. You're constantly like dipping into your phone for these tiny bits of information.
Well, yeah.
You're walking, clicking, whatever, and boom, you need that text, that direction, that quick conversion. And what do?
Reach for the pocket.
Exactly. Muscle memory. You pull out the phone, you look down,
Yeah.
and right there, that's the moment, isn't it? Your flow just breaks.
It totally breaks. And, that specific break, that reliance on holding a screen, well, that's pretty much the core problem the next big computing shift is trying to fix.
Right.
For years, it's all been in our hands. But now we're starting to see, I think, the first really serious attempt to move that computing power, like literally onto our face, looking out with us, keeping us in the moment.
Yeah, and that's really the heart of what we're digging into today. We've got some deep source material on Meta's latest lineup, their AI-powered smart glasses.
Yeah.
We're really going to focus in on the main one, the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses. And maybe even more importantly, this totally new control system they've paired with it.
Yeah, the band. So the mission for you listening in is really to get past the headlines here. We need to unpack the actual tech breakthroughs, the hardware, the software, and look critically at Meta's big claim. Is this really the stepping stone to replacing your phone someday? And how does this new control method, using like subtle muscle signals, actually change how we interact hands-free?
So the big picture here is Meta's launching this whole integrated system, right? It's not just the glasses.
No, it's 3 parts.
Right, the glasses themselves, the separate neural band controller thing, and then the AI software running on it.
And it's all built around this one idea, this philosophy they keep mentioning, keeping you tuned into the world around you, not distracted from it.
Okay, let's dive in, starting with the glasses themselves, the hardware choices they made.
Right. So when you're trying to cram all this tech into something that's supposed to look and feel like, well, normal glasses?
Yeah, like Wayfarers.
Exactly. Every single decision is this huge balancing act, right? An engineering trade-off. And that's super clear when you look at the display component in these Meta Ray-Ban display glasses.
Absolutely. They made a really specific call here. It's a full-color, pretty high-res display, 600 by 600 pixels. And it's projected like slightly off to the side in your peripheral vision on the right. But the spec that just jumps out from the sources is the brightness. 5,000 nits.
5,000, yeah. That number is, it's huge for such a tiny display. I mean, way brighter than your phone screen cranked all the way up.
Why so bright, though?
Well, the thinking is simple. Usability outdoors all day. If you're out in bright sunlight, a normal screen, even a good one at maybe 1,000 nits, just gets washed out. You can barely see it.
Right.
This 5,000 nit panel, it's engineered to just punch right through that direct sunlight. So you can actually see notifications or directions outside.
Okay, but hang on. 5,000 nits? That sounds like it would generate a lot of heat, right? And chew through battery. How did they manage that? Did the sources talk about the trade-offs there?
They did, yeah. It's a big challenge. So to handle the battery drain, the display is dynamic. It runs at a nice, smooth 90 hertz refresh rate when things are moving, like scrolling a list or watching a quick video clip.
Okay.
But for static stuff, like just a notification sitting there or a map arrow, it drops way down to 30 hertz.
Yeah, clever.
That changing refresh rate is basically their main power-saving trick for the display.
Yeah.
And, the fact that it relies on the phone for like half the processing, which we'll get into,
Yeah.
that's probably another way they manage heat and power. Keep the heavy lifting off the glasses themselves, keep them sleek, keep them cool on your face.
Makes total sense. So the glasses are just doing the display part, the sensing, maybe some light AI.
Yeah.
But the phone in your pocket is doing the grunt work and taking the battery hit.
Pretty much. And this leads to a really crucial point Meta keeps stressing. This is absolutely not augmented reality, not AR.
Right. Important distinction. If you've seen things like Apple Vision Pro, AR locks digital stuff onto the real world. These Meta glasses don't do that.
Nope. Display is fixed. Think of it more like a tiny, private, glanceable window, as they call it.
Glanceable window, I like that.
And because it's fixed and doesn't track the world, they could solve maybe the biggest social problem for see-through head tech, privacy.
The creepiness factor.
Exactly. Because the display uses this like indirect projection.
Yeah.
It basically bounces light internally into your eye. The light path is all contained.
So nobody else can see it.
Nobody. The reviews were really clear on this. Even if someone's staring right at your glasses, even at full 5,000 nit brightness, they can't see what you're seeing.
Wow, okay, that's a huge deal. Because early smart glasses, you could often tell what the person was looking at, and it just felt weird.
Totally weird. Making it invisible to others is a massive step towards just making them feel normal.
Okay, what about the actual design? They look like Ray-Ban Wayfarers, you said?
Yeah, they pushed hard on the fashion angle, trying to avoid that clunky, wearable tech look. A standard pair of Ray-Bans weighs maybe 35 grams, pretty light. These Meta display ones, they're 69 grams.
Ooh, okay, 69 grams. That's like 50% heavier. That sounds like you'd feel it.
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
But apparently the way they distributed the weight-putting battery and stuff in the arms for balance, it works surprisingly well.
Yeah.
The consensus from the reviews was, like, people wore them for an hour and a half straight and kind of forgot they were even on.
Really? That's impressive. Sustained comfort is key if they want people wearing these all day.
Totally. And they covered the practical bases too. They come with transition lenses by default, so they tint automatically outside, clear up inside.
Nice.
And crucially for, actually selling these things, they support prescription lenses. Pretty wide range too, -4 to +4 total power. So a lot of people who wear glasses can actually use it.
Good. What about durability? Can I wear them in the rain?
They've got an IPX4 rating, which basically means splash resistance.
Yeah.
So yeah, light rain, sweat from jogging, that's fine. But you can't dunk them in water. It's standard for consumer gadgets, not super rugged.
Got it. Okay, let's peek under the hood. The processor is a specific Qualcomm chip, Snapdragon AR1 Gen 1. Why that one?
Yeah, that chip choice is telling. It's not just a regular phone chip crammed in there. It's silicon designed specifically for wearables, for head-mounted stuff.
Ah.
So its main job isn't raw speed, it's efficiency. Low power use, quick processing for the camera and sensors. That focus on efficiency helps squeeze out that 6 hours or so of battery life from the glasses themselves.
Okay. And memory, storage.
It's got 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage.
32 gigs. Doesn't sound like a ton if you're recording video.
It's not huge, no, but it's enough for what they let you capture. The camera's decent, 12 megapixels. It can shoot 3K video at 30 frames per second.
3K. Okay.
That 32 gigs holds maybe about an hour of that footage, something like that. And it can do slow-mo too, but only at 720p.
Right. But you mentioned earlier for the AI stuff, maybe the audio hardware is even more important than the camera.
I think so, yeah. We've got 2 open-ear speakers, which are apparently better than you'd expect. But the real star is the 5 microphone array. 5 mics strapped right there on your face.
What?
That cluster of mics is what makes things like isolating conversations possible, or getting really good dictation, or doing real-time translation. Stuff you just can't do well with one mic on your wrist or in your pocket.
Makes sense. And finally, the charging case. The sources seem pretty impressed.
Yeah, the case is actually quite smart. It collapses down flat so it's less bulky in your pocket or bag.
Oh, that's handy.
And you need it, because the glasses only last about 6 hours on their own. The case gives you 4 full recharges. So altogether, you're looking at around 30 hours of mixed use before you need to plug the case itself in. They knew that case had to be good and easy to carry if people are going to rely on these all day.
Okay, so we've got the glasses. Basically a private, pretty bright little screen for quick info designed to look normal. But, like you said, a great view is useless if controlling it makes you stop what you're doing, like tapping your face or fiddling with buttons.
Exactly. Breaks the flow.
Which brings us to part 2, and this is maybe the most out there part of the whole thing, the Meta neural band.
This is definitely where Meta is placing a big bet on the future of hands-free computing. This band comes with the display glasses. It's not optional for them. And its whole job is to get rid of traditional inputs. No touchpads on the glasses, no dials, no need for those kinds of hand gestures in front of your face.
The source described it as kind of like a watch, but it's not a watch, it's just the controller.
That's a good way to put it. The tech inside is surface electromyography, or EMG. Now, it's not reading your brain waves or anything like that. It reads the tiny electrical signals your muscles generate when they contract, specifically in your wrist and forearm. But here's the really wild part, based on their research. The fidelity, the sensitivity is so high, it can apparently detect subtle finger movements before you can even see them happen.
Whoa, hang on. Before you can see them. So like, if I just think about pinching my finger or just barely start the muscle movement.
It's reading the electrical signal as the muscle fires, potentially milliseconds before the full physical movement completes. It's almost like predictive control. based on those initial muscle impulses.
That sounds like science fiction. Has this been tested properly?
Well, they say it's not some quick demo tech. This EMG research apparently went on for 4 years. They involved nearly 200,000 participants in studies.
Wow.
That huge data set is supposedly why they claim it works reliably right out of the box for nearly anyone. It has to account for all the natural differences in how muscle signals travel in different people's arms.
Okay, and the goal is controls that feel mindless, natural. But let's push back a bit. The source material mentioned 97% accuracy after about an hour of use, and importantly, no accidental triggers, but still, that 3% error rate, if you're trying to do something quickly or you're multitasking, couldn't that 3% failure be really annoying?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
97% sounds great on paper, but in real-world use.
Yeah, like what if you're moving around a lot? Or it's hot and you're sweaty, does that mess with the signal?
That's the critical test. The sources seem confident it's robust because it's reading internal electrical signals, not relying on cameras seeing your hand or light reflecting off skin. So in theory, it should be less bothered by sweat or lighting changes.
Okay.
However, that first hour of use is apparently crucial for personal calibration. The band is learning your specific muscle signals, your impulse strength. So if the band shifts on your wrist significantly, maybe that calibration gets thrown off a bit. That could account for some of the errors.
Right, that makes sense. It needs to learn you. So what are the actual gestures you make?
The main interaction seems to be based on pinching, but really subtle. To turn the display on, because it goes dark after about 20 seconds to save power, you do a quick double tap or double pinch motion with your index finger and thumb.
Okay.
To select something in a menu, you pinch. But to scroll up or down lists, you do this gesture they call imaginary joystick. Basically just sliding your thumb across your closed fist.
That sounds incredibly subtle, like someone watching you might not even notice you're doing anything.
That's the idea. Low effort, almost invisible. For other things, like volume, you actually grab the wrist wearing the band with your other hand and rotate it, like turning a physical dial.
Okay, that's more obvious.
Yeah. And for zooming, say on a map or a photo on that little display, you pinch your fingers together and then twist them slightly.
Right. And then there's a really futuristic one. They're testing the handwriting beta.
Get this. The EMG signal is apparently sensitive enough that you can just trace letters on your thigh or a table or even just in the air with your finger like an imaginary pen.
Seriously?
And the band translates those tiny muscle movements in your wrist and forearm into actual text.
Okay, that actually sounds genuinely useful. Like, you're in a meeting, you can't talk, but you need to send a quick note. I'll be back at 7. Just scribble it on your leg. That's not a gimmick.
Right. It feels like a practical silent input method. Now, let's quickly compare this EMG band to other ways of controlling spatial computers, like the camera-based hand tracking on the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, the pinch gesture everyone knows now.
The big advantage of the Neuroband, theoretically, is that it doesn't need line of sight. Cameras need to see your hands to track them.
Ah, good point.
If your hands are down in your lap or under a table or maybe in your pockets on a cold day, camera tracking fails. But because the EMG band is reading internal muscle signals, it should work no matter where your hands are. You keep control even when the glasses can't see your hands.
That's a pretty huge advantage for real-world usability. And the source has also highlighted accessibility, right?
Yeah, and this could be really powerful. Because it can detect such incredibly subtle muscle signals, it potentially opens up hands-free computer control for people with significant mobility challenges.
Like who?
The sources specifically mention people recovering from strokes, individuals with spinal cord injuries, maybe people with tremors that make fine motor control difficult, or even people with fewer than 5 fingers. The idea is that EMG could pick up control signals where tapping a screen, turning a dial, or even making big gestures just isn't possible.
Wow. That shifts it from just being a cool controller to potentially vital assistive tech?
Absolutely. And just to round off the band specs, they didn't seem to skimp on making it tough.
No.
It's designed for all-day wear, so it's lightweight, comfortable. Battery life is good, up to 18 hours. And it's way more rugged than the glasses IPX7 rated.
IPX7, that's waterproof, right? Like properly waterproof.
Yeah, fully waterproof. You can swim with it, theoretically, though maybe not recommended. And the material they used for the band is called Vectran. Apparently, it's the same super strong stuff they used for the airbags on the Mars rover landings.
Seriously, Mars rover material. Okay, they built it to last then.
Seems like it. Built for constant, everyday wear and tear. All right, so we've got the glasses hardware, we've got this radical new wristband controller. Now we need to get real about what it's actually like to use this stuff today. What can you actually do, and what are the current limitations?
Yeah, the sources were really upfront about this. Meta might dream of replacing the phone eventually, but that is absolutely not where these glasses are right now.
No way. Today, these glasses completely depend on having a smartphone connected via Bluetooth. Android or iPhone, doesn't matter, but you need the phone.
How much depends on the phone?
The general estimate seems to be around 50%. Roughly half the functionality is still relying on your phone to do the heavy processing, handle the internet connection, run the apps, that sort of thing.
Okay, let's dig into that 50% reliance. Meta clearly worked hard to make the glasses look good, feel light. Was offloading so much to the phone mainly about saving cost? Or keeping the glasses from getting too hot? Or just hitting that target weight and look?
I think it's almost certainly the last two, heat and aesthetics. To hit that 69-gram weight, and crucially, avoid having something uncomfortably warm sitting on your face all day.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Right. They basically had to limit the onboard processing power and the battery size in the glasses themselves. So pushing the complex stuff, heavy AI tasks, running third-party apps over to the phone in your pocket lets them keep that sleek, wearable form factor.
But the downside is obvious. You're still carrying your phone everywhere. It's not independence yet.
Not at all. And the app situation really highlights this in-between stage. There's no app store you can browse.
Okay. Closed ecosystem.
Totally closed for now. If you want maps, you use Meta Maps. AI is Meta AI. Messaging is WhatsApp or Messenger. Music is Spotify via a custom integration. It's basically just Meta's own services and a couple of partners.
Right. And the interface itself, is it slick?
Functional is the word used, not super slick or like 60 pps, beautifully animated like your phone. It gets the job done for showing notifications of basic info. But despite that lack of polish, the specific things they do enable seem surprisingly useful, not just tech demos. Let's talk communication first.
Okay, messaging on WhatsApp, say. What's the big deal there?
Discretion, mainly. That little glanceable display means you can easily and privately read incoming messages without yanking your phone out.
Yeah. In a meeting or something.
Exactly. And you could apparently even open links or watch short videos like a reel someone sent you right there in your peripheral vision.
Okay. What about replying?
You've got a few options, but the one that really uses the hardware best is dictation. Remember those 5 mics?
Yeah, strapped to your face.
Apparently the dictation quality is phenomenally good, like way better than trying to dictate to your phone or watch, especially if there's background noise. One reviewer sounded genuinely amazed it could pick up whispered words and still get the grammar and punctuation mostly right.
Whispered words. That's impressive. But okay, let's be critical again. Dictating to your glasses in public. Still feels kind of awkward, right? Is that really the killer app? Or is that handwriting beta maybe more practical day to day?
That's a really good point about the social friction. Dictation probably works great when you're alone or in a private space. But out in public, yeah, maybe scribbling that quick note on your leg using the handwriting feature is the more realistic, silent way to communicate. Meta seems to get that tension between what's technically best, voice, and what's socially acceptable, silent gestures.
Right. Okay, speaking of technical feats, the live translation and captions feature, one source called it insane tech. How does that work?
It all comes back to that 5 mic array again, and some clever audio processing. Because the glasses know roughly where you're looking, they can do this thing called conversation focus.
Conversation focus.
Yeah, it basically isolates the sound coming directly from the person you're facing and actively tunes out everything else, background music, other people talking nearby, traffic noise.
Wow, okay, so it cleans up the audio feed?
Dramatically. And that clean audio is what allows for really reliable real-time subtitles of the conversation. The words appear in your display almost instantly as the person speaks.
Okay, that could be huge for people who are hard of hearing.
Yep.
Or just in really loud bars.
Exactly. The reports suggest the latency is super low. You're reading the words almost as they finish saying them.
Yeah.
And this same audio isolation tech powers the real-time translation for certain languages.
Right. Clean audio in, better translation out.
Precisely. The translation quality itself is apparently quite high. But here's a big user experience issue: the delay.
How bad?
It's described as slightly awkward. The processing takes maybe a second and a half, so you're looking directly at the person, maintaining eye contact, but you're just waiting silently for the English translation to pop up in your vision.
Oof. Yeah, I can picture that silent stare while the computer thinks. It'd be pretty uncomfortable in a conversation.
Totally. It shows that even amazing tech needs to nail the social timing. Technical perfection isn't always human comfort. latency in conversation feels weird.
Definitely. Okay, beyond communication, what about other utilities? Navigation.
Navigation uses MetaMaps. It's maybe not as feature-rich as Google Maps yet, but the hands-free aspect is apparently a no-brainer. The cool thing is seeing the navigation arrow right there in your periphery, and it turns as your head turns. You just look where you want to go, see the instruction, and walk. No more looking down at your phone constantly for walking directions. It's launching in beta in some cities first.
That sounds genuinely useful for walking around. Music playback.
Yeah, uses custom apps. Spotify is the main one mentioned. The open-ear speakers are better than expected, apparently, but they're definitely not private. Turn the volume up past maybe 40%, and people nearby will hear your tunes.
Right. But the controls are seamless with the band.
Yeah, swiping your thumb on your fist to skip tracks, rotating your wrist for volume.
Yep.
That interaction using the neural band is reportedly very smooth.
Okay, and finally, Meta AI. How does having it on your face change things?
This is where the real potential starts to show, I think. Because the glasses can see what you see, hear what you hear. The AI gets context that your phone in your pocket just doesn't have.
Right, it's aware of your immediate surrounding.
Exactly. So instead of just typing a question, you can trigger the AI with your voice, maybe look at ingredients on your counter and ask, hey Meta, how do I make Indian chai with this stuff? And the AI can potentially confirm it sees the right things and then pull up the recipe step by step right in your display.
So the value isn't that Meta's AI is necessarily smarter than, say, ChatGPT.
Not yet, probably.
But the delivery method lets you keep doing things.
Precisely. You can be doing something physical, washing your hands, stirring that chai, maybe trying to fix something, and you can follow the instructions in your vision, use the neural band to go to the next step, ask follow-up questions with your voice, all without having to stop and touch a screen with messy hands. That integration of seeing, hearing, doing, and controlling hands-free, that's the unique promise here.
Okay, so it's clear the display glasses are the big tech push, the flagship. But Meta didn't just launch those. They brought out 2 other models at the same time, which suggests a pretty clear market segmentation strategy.
Yeah, definitely. They're not putting all their eggs in the $800 display basket. Let's look at the other options, starting with the Oakley Meta Vanguard.
Oakley. So sports focused.
Exactly. The Vanguard is aimed squarely at athletes, outdoor adventurers, people who need something rugged, something that stays put during activity.
And the specs back that up. More durable than the Ray-Ban.
Oh yeah, significantly. These are built tough. The water and dust resistance rating is IP67.
IP67, that's a big jump from IPX4 on the Ray-Bans. What does that mean practically?
IP67 means fully dust tight. And they can handle being submerged in water for a bit, like up to a meter for 30 minutes. Plus, they're built for extreme temperatures, knocks, drops. The design is that wraparound, secure style, a face hugger, one source called it. Weighs 66 grams, slightly less than the display Ray-Bans, actually. And you can swap the lenses, replace the nose pads, customize it a bit.
And the camera is different too, suited for action.
Yeah, it's an ultra-wide 12-megapixel camera, but it's positioned right in the center in the nose bridge piece. Gives a really wide 122-degree view.
Ah, good for capturing everything when you're like biking down a trail.
Exactly. Captures that wide context. It records the same 3K video at 30 fps, up to 3 minutes like the others. But crucially, it adds enhanced digital stabilization if you drop down to full HD, 1080p. So your shaky mountain bike footage should look much smoother.
Nice. Any other video modes?
Yep, drop down further to 720p resolution, and you can shoot at 120 frames per second.
Slow motion.
Perfect for analyzing your golf swing, or maybe creating those cool hyperlapse videos on a long hike or run.
Okay, but the really unique thing for athletes, according to the sources, was the Garmin integration. It's not just recording, it's adding data.
This is pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the killer app for the serious data-driven athlete. The glasses can link directly with your Garmin watch or bike computer.
Okay.
And pull your real-time stats, speed, distance, heart rate, elevation, whatever the Garmin is tracking. And here's the clever part. The system can automatically monitor these stats and insert them directly into the video as it's being recorded.
Oh, so no post-processing needed. If I hit a certain speed on my bike, that number just appears on the video file automatically.
That's the idea. It takes the friction out of creating those data-rich videos for sharing on Strava or wherever. Apparently, the glasses can even flash an LED to let you know when you hit a preset target, like a pace goal.
That's genuinely smart integration. Battery life better, too.
Yep, up to 9 hours of mixed use on the glasses. And the case gives you 36 hours total via fast charging. So better endurance for longer activities.
Price, availability.
The Oakley Meta Vanguard is $499 USD, shipping worldwide starting October 21st.
Okay, so that's the high-performance, rugged option. Then what's the entry point, the update to the original Ray-Ban Metas?
Exactly. The Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2. This is for people who like the idea of the AI features, the camera, the audio, but don't need or want the built-in display.
So an evolution of the first gen.
Pretty much. It's Meta's way to get more people trying the core AI experience at a lower price. It's $379 USD, and it's actually already out.
Available now. What's actually new or better compared to the first generation?
Two main things, battery life and capture quality. The battery on the Gen 2 glasses themselves is basically doubled up to 8 hours, mixed use now.
8 hours. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and the case bumps that up to a total of 48 hours, so battery is much improved. And second, it gets the upgraded sensor.
Yeah.
It now shoots that 3K resolution video, same as the others.
Okay.
And importantly, it gets that same 5 microphone array.
Ah, so even without the display, you still get the good audio quality, the better dictation, the conversation isolation features, and access to the Meta AI.
That's right. All the core AI and audio benefits are there at that $379 price point. It helps Meta get the underlying tech out there, get people used to talking to their glasses, using AI in context.
Makes sense, but it keeps the lower water resistance.
Yeah, it stays at IPX4 splash resistance, just like the display Ray-Bans. The Oakley is the only one with a heavy-duty IP67 rating, clearly defined tiers. Okay, so we've looked at the tech across 3 different products. You've got the entry-level Gen 2 Ray-Bans at $379, the sporty, rugged Oakley Vanguards at $499, and then the flagship, the Ray-Ban display, which comes bundled with that neural band controller, for $799.
Right. But that flagship, the $799 one, has pretty limited availability initially, right? Only select US stores starting September 30th, and places like the UK, Europe, Canada have to wait until early 2026.
Yeah, that's slow rollout for the most advanced model, plus the pretty high price tag. It does make you wonder about the immediate strategy. Why push this kind of bridge product now, especially if full-blown AR is the ultimate goal down the road? What's the big picture play for Meta here?
What are the sources saying?
Well, the general feeling seems to be it's a preemptive move. Meta is trying hard to just normalize the idea of wearing smart glasses, make them seem stylish, mainstream.
People used to it.
Exactly. And crucially, they likely want to grab that early association in consumers' minds. Smart glasses. Oh yeah, Meta makes those Ray-Bans. They probably feel they need to establish that beachhead before a major competitor, let's be honest, probably Apple.
Right.
Potentially comes out with a maybe cheaper, more mass market version of something like the Vision Pro, or their own take on glasses.
So getting presence in the market, making the form factor normal, that's more important right now than delivering the ultimate, technically perfect AR device immediately.
That seems to be the strategy, yeah. And it fits perfectly with Mark Zuckerberg's whole long-term vision for AI, which he talks about a lot.
How so?
He keeps arguing that glasses are really the only device form factor where AI can truly get full context, where it can genuinely see what you see, hear what you hear in real time.
Something a phone in your pocket just can't do.
Right. And that deep real-world context is supposedly what will unlock the next level of AI, moving beyond just answering questions to actually understanding your situation, maybe even generating content or assistance based on what's happening around you right now.
Okay, so this current lineup, these 3 products, they represent stepping stones towards that future.
Exactly. It lays out Meta's 3-tiered vision for AI glasses pretty clearly.
Okay, what are the tiers again?
Tier 1 is what they call camera AI glasses. That's the Gen 2 Ray-Ban, the Oakley Vanguard. The focus there is purely on great capture photo, video, and excellent voice-based AI interaction using those 5 mics. These get people comfortable just wearing cameras and mics on their face.
Got it. Tier 2.
Tier 2 is the display AI glasses, which is the new flagship, the Meta Ray-Ban display. This tier introduces the value of having that private contextual screen, showing notifications, directions, quick info, without making you reach for your phone, without breaking your flow. This is the bridge product, getting users used to having compute and a display on their head continuously.
Okay, the necessary intermediate step. And then Tier 3, the ultimate goal.
That's true. Augmented reality glasses. The kind of stuff they're working on with their internal Orion prototypes. That's the long game. Full AR, big holographic displays that overlay rich digital information right onto your view of the real world.
Right.
So you see, the $799 display glasses today, they're not the final destination. They're maybe the essential intermediate training wheels needed to gently move people from the smartphone world towards that full spatial computing future without totally freaking them out with a $3,500 headset right away.
Yeah.
Hashtag tag outro.
Wow, okay. So this deep dive really paints a picture of a very deliberate multi-stage strategy from Meta to try and shift computing away from the phone. Let's just quickly hit the highlights again, the tech bits that really stood out from the sources. For me, it's got to be how they engineered that display for privacy. Making it basically invisible to anyone else, even at full brightness. That feels like they really tackled a major social barrier head on.
Yeah, totally. And for me, the sheer innovation in the control system, that neural band, using EMG to get 97% accuracy from tiny subtle gestures even when your hands aren't visible, that's potentially huge. Not just for everyday users, but the accessibility implications are massive.
Definitely. And we shouldn't forget the audio side either. That 5-mic array doing conversation focus, isolating one person's voice in a noisy room for captions or translation. That's seriously impressive audio processing.
For sure. And look, at the end of the day, while the Meta Ray-Ban display isn't replacing your phone tomorrow, that 50% phone dependency is real.
Yeah, it's a big caveat.
It is. But the whole system, the glasses, the band, the AI, it does seem cleverly designed around that core mission, helping you do everyday things without constantly breaking your flow.
Yeah.
They seem to be nailing that specific goal.
Right. Now, we talked a bit about the contextual AI, getting help with recipes based on what the glasses see. But let's leave you, the listener, with maybe one final, slightly more out there thought to chew on. We touched on the idea of the tech moving beyond just responding to commands.
Yeah. So imagine if a device like this, worn all the time, gets good enough for truly seamless passive memory capture. Not just answering when you ask, but just observing, recording in the background, remembering where you put down your keys earlier without you even asking it to, or recalling exactly what someone said in that meeting yesterday, or remembering the name of that shop you walked past.
It's like an automatic external memory.
Exactly. If the tech gets that good, that passive, what does that actually mean for our own brains? Our own need to remember things, our own capacity? Does our reliance shift? And, how close are we really to that kind of reality where the tech isn't just a tool we use, but almost an extension of our own recall?
That is definitely something to mull over.